Well, hi everyone, and welcome to our Module 4 reading overview. Let's go ahead and get started about what you need to know for this module. This week we are reading Chapter 4, Project Planning, the Project Infrastructure. Some of the things that you might want to be thinking about is as you go through the reading. So once a project sponsor approves your business case, then we move into the project planning phase. So our project initiation is completed and we're moving into project planning. Now, project planning, here's where we're going to basically look at everything that needs to be done, who's going to do it, how much money we're going to spend, when does it need to be finished, and what resources are we going to need. So here we're going to be looking at scope, schedule, and budget, really. This is where we're going to be putting together and planning all of these different things. And also in this section, it's really important to understand how project governance takes into effect in terms of our project management strategy. Now, project governance is talking about steering or administration of the project, governing the project. That's what we mean when we're talking about governance. Something else we're going to get into in this particular chapter is the project charter. And the project charter is one of the main elements that comes out of the planning stage. Not the only thing by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a significant document that comes out of project planning. And what the project charter includes is it documents our stakeholders, who our project stakeholders are. It documents our measurable organizational value. It defines our scope. And again, that's what we are going to do. What is this project going to do? Every bit as important as what the project will do is what the project will not do. What is in scope? What is out of scope? You will hear that term frequently used. What is in scope or what is out of scope? Out of scope is stuff we're not going to do as part of this project. Sometimes it's every bit as important to document what we will not do as part of the project, in as much as what the project will entail. Okay. We'll also talk about the schedule. When does it need to be done? And what are our milestones along the way? How much money do we have to spend? What's the project's budget? What are the quality standards? How are we going to evaluate that the project actually met the standards that we set out to meet? So it's one thing for us to engage in a project, say, for example, a particular system. We're going to develop this system and we're going to get our hands in there and we're going to gather our requirements and we're going to set forth and we're going to develop this system. Well, when we're all finished developing the system and we go to deliver it to the end user, and the end user is very upset with us because we didn't do what they thought we needed to do. And we thought we hit the mark. They said, no, you didn't. Or maybe we had some calculations that were incorrect. Maybe we just didn't get it. We didn't get it right the first time. So here's where quality standards come into play, and here's where our metrics for measuring what we said we would do with what we actually accomplish come into effect. And not just that measurement, but that it meets the quality that the users need from us. How are we going to validate that those calculations are correct, right? How are we going to make sure? Other things included in the project charter include the resources that this project will need. We put in some assumptions and some risks. Assumptions often are that the project team members will be available when we need them, that we will get all of the technology will arrive on time. We had to order, let's say, for example, we need to order a bunch of equipment, and that order will arrive when we expect it to come in, and that we will get everything we need. So those are sometimes assumptions that we make in a project when we set out to define a project schedule. Some of the risks. What are some of the risks we can assume up front, or the risks that we can think of up front? losing team members can be a risk. There can be all kinds of different risks in different types of projects. We also want to talk about the administration of the project, or back to that governance. How are we going to administer this project? How are we going to monitor it, manage it, and control it? What's our acceptance what's our criteria for acceptance and approval? Who's going to accept and approve? And based on what criteria? And then we might want to consider any other references, and we definitely want to define any terminology. We all know that IT is jargon filled. Everything about IT is an acronym. It's jargon rich and acronym heavy. So it's very easy for us to start off on page 1 of a project charter with nothing but acronyms and jargon. So we want to define those things. It's okay to do that as long as at the end of our document, our project charter, we define what we mean by the jargon. So here's some things you want to focus on during the reading. What is project governance and why is it important to a project? Who makes up the project team? What are some of the project roles? There are 3 types of organizational structures and how these organizational structures influence project management. There's a section on project procurement, and you should kind of understand some of those basic concepts of project procurement. And then know what the project charter is and what those components or sections are. So go ahead and continue on to the next video where I will discuss your assignments for the week. I will see you over there.